education team is here to talk to you about salmon, forests, rivers, and more. We're super excited to have you here with us today. Let's go meet the team. Hey y'all, welcome to the ancient forest at Oxbow Park. Here you can walk with trees that may be 600, 700, even 800 years old that have survived hundreds of years of both human-made changes and natural changes, like historic eruptions at Mount Hood or this place becoming a park in the 1960s. This park is magical, not in spite of human connection, but actually in part because of it. And Black, Indigenous, people of color communities all have a long-standing relationship with the land. So let's get going on our walk today and see who's out in the forest. Looks like you found some nettle. This forest is full of really cool plants, but don't get pricked by this one. These little hairs actually have an oil produced by the plant that can make it feel like it gives you a little sting. Also really useful though for eating, drinking. There are safe ways to use this plant if you want to touch it. The tops of the leaves don't have any spikes. Let's keep going. Do you guys hear that? This tree is completely hollow. It's been here for a long time. And there are trees just like this all over the ancient forest. This bark is super special. It passes the splinter test. I can take my bare hand, put it on this tree, and rub as hard as I can. No splinters. This tree also has a ton of other really neat properties. It's a natural pesticide. It's also a natural fungicide. It can prevent bacterial infections. People have been using this tree for millennia, still to this day, to eat from, drink from. What kind of tree do you think it is? That's right. It's a western red cedar. Did you get it right? Nice job. Hey, you beat me over here. These trees are so neat. As they go back to nature, you can see the huckleberries and fir trees that have taken up residence. These trees actually fell in 1980. Wild. Oh hey, I'm glad I caught up to you. I was checking out the forest for some cool animal signs, but it looks like you've already found one. The holes in this tree are pretty indicative of a bird that you may know who flies around in search of bugs. Can you think of the name? Woodpecker? Yeah, you got it. The holes in this tree are made from a pileated woodpecker, who, in their search for bugs amongst the forest, can also actually spread mushroom spores, seeds, bugs between trees. So think about all of the interconnected species living in this forest and how they travel tree to tree. Let's take a minute and take in the view. Well, y'all, I think we're coming to the end of our walk. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you got to see some cool stuff. I think if you guys just follow that trail right behind you, you'll meet up with some of my other friends. We'll talk to you about some more cool stuff. Have a great day.
Every fall, salmon make their way to the Sandy River from the Pacific Ocean. Along the way, some of these salmon will stop along Oxbow Park as they seek to make nests and create the next generation of salmon. Here are some tips to help you spot salmon. Pick a spot along the river where you have a good view of the water. Keep an eye out for areas where the bottom of the river is gravelly or rocky. Bring binoculars or polarized sunglasses to help you see the bottom of the river or get a closer look. Watch for fins in the water. Salmon will sometimes jump around to get past rushing water or big rocks.
there, my name is Alejandra and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about salmon anatomy. So this friend has made its way from living in the ocean for a number of years into its next phase in adulthood, which means it's going to make its way back into the river. And in order for it to blend in better, also known as the word camouflage, this friend has changed its color morphology. Right, so we can see that this friend now has some brown variation scales, some even that are black, maybe some speckles if you look up close. I'd also love to talk to you about the salmon's fins and their different functions. So up front we have its pectoral fin, we have its anal fin, we have its caudal fin, which allows it to swim through the ocean. We have its adipose fin, which is a vestigial fin, so it doesn't necessarily do something for it now, but it might have done something for it in its evolutionary past. Its dorsal fin, which allows it to stay up straight as it's swimming through the river and the ocean. Pretty impressive, right?
Salmon are considered to be sacred to the indigenous people of the Columbia River Basin. They appear in creation stories, poetry, songs, and we honor them every year with a salmon homecoming here at Oxbow Park. The Sandy River is an ideal habitat for salmon to spawn and make their redds. Looking out over this section of river, which of the following make it ideal for salmon to spawn here? Flowing water, trees providing shade along the river shore, water deep enough for large fish, clear sediment-free water, river stones that can be moved by large fish, or all of the above. If you said all of the above, you're correct. Since the Sandy River is such an ideal location for salmon to spawn, it's important that we continue to protect it.
Just as the salmon return to the Sandy River every year, salmon around the world return to the places that they were born. As someone who lives near the Sandy, Columbia, and Willamette rivers, I'm part of the salmon nation, and so are you. Everyone who lives near a river where salmon come to reproduce and spawn is part of this worldwide community. Salmon are what is considered an indicator species, and so if the population of the salmon declines, that is telling us that something is happening in the world and in their rivers that will affect other species, like elk, anything that is coming to this area for water. As we think about all of the gifts the salmon give us, we also have to think about what gifts we can give to the salmon. And part of that is the choices that we make about how we're impacting the water that they live in. And so thank you all for being part of Salmon Nation with me, and let's continue to make choices that help support the salmon in these waters.
That concludes our virtual field trip. Oxbow Park is open 365 days a year for you to come and enjoy whenever you want. I hope you enjoyed your time with us.